Allah seized his building by its foundations, and the roof fell down upon them, and doom came upon them, whence they knew not.
This became Quran 1626. Dare we poke through the excrement and find Allah's little problem? Or do we just chalk this one up to diarrhea of the mouth? Ah, we've come this far. Why give up now? Hold your nose if you must. Verses 22 through 25 of the 16th Surah say that non-Muslims are puffed up with pride, probably from holding their noses, and living in denial. But Allah is onto them like stink on, well, you know what. The big guy asks,
"What has your Lord sent down?" They answer, "Tales from long ago."
In other words, a blend of plagiarism and stolen Hebrew and Babylonian myths. As you will discover in the source material appendix, the Islamic clerics in Baghdad who fleshed out the Quran in the 8th century attempted to make it more religious by usurping myths and fables from the Talmud, uninspired Jewish folklore. That somehow leads us to this.
Quran 16, verse 26. Those who have gone before them had also conspired.
Have you noticed how many plots there are in the Quran? Everybody has a conspiracy going, even Allah.
Then Allah uprooted their structure from its foundations. The roof fell over them from above, and punishment came upon them from where they did not suspect.
Okay, I understand. Without the context of the Hadith, the Quran doesn't make any sense. But with the context, nothing makes sense.
Tabari. Then it fell, and on that day the languages of mankind became confused from fright, and mankind came to speak 73 languages. Before that, the only language had been Syriac. It was called Babel.
In the midst of the stench, there are some pearls. The first written languages, Sumerian and Akkadian, were created around 3000 BCE. They were used by the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. Aramaic was used as the basis for Syriac some 3,000 years later. But the confession is enlightening. The Syrian Christians were the first to write Arabic. They developed its alphabet in the 6th century. Written Arabic, from which the word Quran was derived, didn't make its way into Central Arabia, and therefore to Mecca, until after Muhammad alleges the Quran was revealed to him in Arabic. So this ridiculous notion that Syriac was the first language is designed to solve a problem our Muslim pals have with their timeline. The alphabet of the Quran was actually unknown when the book was revealed. As we move through this collection of inspired hadith, we're given another glimpse behind the veil of Islam.
"We are only growing farther from heaven," Nimrod said. "Descend."
Now you know which way to look to find Allah.
Tabari. The unbelievers were Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar, while the believers were Solomon bin David and Alexander.
I bet you didn't know that the resolutely pagan Alexander the Great was a monotheistic Muslim, or that the devoutly Jewish King Solomon was Islamic.
In the same way, Nebuchadnezzar was warlord of the lands extending from Ahwaz to the land of the Byzantines lying west of the Tigris before Lustra. He was bruised by fighting the Turks.
8th grade history and a good timeline would have done these boys a world of good. But unfortunately, they were up to no good. Not even 20% of this has been believable. We have been regaled with a steady stream of impossibilities, contradictions, and fairy tales. This has got to be the most feeble attempt at religion ever postulated by man. A crime has been committed. The evidence commands a verdict of guilty. There is a 0 probability that these words were inspired by God. That means Muhammad lied. He was not a prophet, and Allah was not God. But that's good news, not bad. It frees us to explore more important questions. We can focus on how this scam was compiled, and more importantly, why. Once we understand how and why, we will know what can be done to stop Islam before it kills more of them and us.